How are you guys doing? Today is the day. It's Friday. So you know who we have coming to the stage, y'all. The artist LaShonda Cooks. LaShonda is a local Dallas artist that's been making some big moves. And she was also my first interview on Artist to Artist. So I'm excited to speak with her again and see what she's been up to. Let's find out.
Hello.
Hey.
Yes, head wrap.
Yes. Yes, for the bad hair day. You gonna make it work anyway.
It looks great.
So do you.
Thank you. Blessings.
It look good back. You look good. They look good back there. Some getting distressed. A whole bunch of juicy stuff in the back. I'm getting excited.
I was like, let me get it together.
Okay. You got it together. You out here. You showing out. That's what
Thank
I'm talking
you.
about.
Thank you.
So I was just telling the audience how excited I was to talk to you because you were my first ever interview on Artist to Artist. So I'm getting ready to blast some people out. I'm not going to call them by name, but so I basically was going around begging all my art friends, like, I really want to do this, and will you? And they was like, yeah. What had happened was I was like, but we cool. Like, it's just an interview. Yeah. But you were the first one. You will break. You was like, you know what? Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Didn't know what I was doing. Hopped on. Like, okay, I'm here.
I didn't know what I was doing either.
Look. Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about it. So we got a lot just in that short time. How long ago? Has that been 2 months?
It was like pretty early on in quarantine. So I would say like early April, I think.
Yeah. I feel like
time is kind of like, we in the rabbit hole. So time is kind of a non-dimensional right now. But yeah, I think it was back in April. And I had never gone live. So that was my first time getting on.
That's right. You hadn't even gone live. So for you to have done it, like, I was like, I want to interview you, and you hadn't gone live, and you so you were like, let's get it. Like,
why not? You're so charming. I was like, anything for you, Jamelia. So
yeah, I'm not. But thank you for not making me beg more than twice. I appreciate it.
Of course. No, thank you. Thank you for this platform. This is awesome. Just to be able to talk about our work and what we're up to.
Yeah, some folks up in here.
Yes. Melissa is one of my favorites from my alma mater. And she told me she was going to try to pop in. So I'll shout out. And then my sister is, there she goes again. Yeah.
That's love. That's love.
Yeah. Support. What would
we do without support? What do you think our art world would look like without people being supportive of us, even when they don't understand what the hell we're trying to do? What do you think that world would look like?
Just showing up. I don't know what I'm going through, but I'm coming. Shonda in it, Jamelia in it. Let me come and show. It's amazing. It's very. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for to support my family, for sure, and my loved ones pushing me, and saying, you got some good stuff, let's do it. I've been doing this 10 years, which is crazy,
Same here. I love supportive people. They mean everything. So shout out to all the supportive people. If you are cheerleading someone on, even if you don't know what the hell is going on, you just want them to win. Shout out to you. Shout out to all the people like that. That's so amazing.
Melissa is an artist too, so
is she?
Extra special shout out.
Yeah, so she knows the journey.
Yeah.
We have a different journey in life.
Yeah. It's not for the faint of heart, for sure.
It's not. So I think we live between, I think it's like two personalities that have to live. For an artist, you have to be low-key a narcissistic person, But then also this person is always like, man, you're messing it up, man. This is not gonna work. You know, and then you have the other people like, no, I'm an artist. I'm gonna do it. Like everything I do is magical.
Hey, Darren. Yeah, I feel like I have both people on my, like the little, you know, little Shonda's on my shoulder. The good, like, the one that's like, girl, this is fine. This looks great. And the other one's like, you need to take it. Like, even these behind me, I'm like, okay, we got some good stuff going, but, you know, I can see this one over here is like, no, ma'am, we can go a little higher. So, and I think that's necessary.
This bitch right here, she always talking trash. Have you noticed that? I tell her
it's my left side.
Yeah, I'm like, why don't you shut up? And why you on? Because I'm left-handed, so I don't like that she over here. I'm like,
I'm left-handed. Quiet.
Yeah. Like, I don't need to hear from you, ma'am. Like, I'm not. Well, nobody talking to you. She always.
But it's necessary. We have to be our own. We're our own critics for sure. Yes. You know, and our own cheerleaders, I think, as well. So it's important.
Definitely. So since last time I talked to you. A lot of things have been going on with LaShonda, and you know the whole premise behind my little show is to get all up in your art business. So last time I talked to you, you had me quite envious about some eco-friendly plates that I wanted some of. I thought they were amazing. And you had just started to work on them.
Yes.
Since that time, I've seen that you have filled quite a few of them up. And I was so honored when you sent me a picture of some of them. And I was just like, Lord, have mercy. What has Shonda been cooking?
Nobody else has seen those. So y'all are getting an exclusive look. Like, I haven't showed the whole... And that's not all. I want to do like double that amount. But yeah, y'all are getting an exclusive look at the progress.
So juicy. Like, I don't know what I thought you were going to do. I mean, I knew it was going to be dope, but I don't think I was prepared. Like, it's coming along really nicely.
My sister is literally handing me these too. So
I was like, yes. Put it closer.
But yeah.
Put it up close. Put one closer.
Okay.
Closer. So we can see the juiciness. Guys, Shonda's work, everything is about oh my goodness. Yes, girl.
And this one is actually of my sister while she was getting her hair braided. So all the images on these are like
you're not slick. You're not slick. So you see the first one she handed to you. She not slick.
Let me see. I had like 4. So this one I think you've seen before. This is like one of my first earliest ones. And we actually shot this. She met up with me for a photo shoot. So like at Trinity in Dallas. And she has this gorgeous green hair. So I wanted to show that off. But yeah, this has been a fun process. Just meeting people. I would literally run up on people and be like, I love your hair. Can I take a picture of you? And they'd be like, yes. Or, you know, or they would send me a photo. Or I would find something on social media and say, hey, can I use this? It's been an interesting journey. Yeah.
So you said that you're halfway done with the plate section, right? I know about you. So what's your intention? So Melissa, she wants to know, what are they made of?
Yeah, so here's another one. These are made out of plates. Like I did an event late March, and I bought these plates for that event. They're made out of leaves, so they're eco-friendly. They self decompose with the right environment. But I had like 50 of these left over after the party. I ordered like 100 on Amazon. It weren't expensive at all, and they feel really good. They're really good quality. But and each of them has slightly different like colorations. So I like that. I was like, oh, I could use these people to use as like a canvas. So basically, that's what I'm doing. So I'm able to paint really small, get a lot of detail, and do this series where hopefully I'll have 30 pieces done. So that's the goal. I'm at about 14 right now.
You'll have them. We talking to LaShonda. You'll have them. So tell the audience more about exactly what these are about. And so you're building up to the 30 for what? Let's tell them
So,
about that. I'm like,
thank you for that.
hold on. That looked evil. I meant for it to look like excitement.
No, it's fine. So the goal basically is called Hair Story. And the idea hit me, I say middle of last summer. I was at an event, having a good time, had my wine glass, and I listened to a poem by Rage Almighty. Rage Almighty is a Dallas phenom, and he unfortunately passed last fall, but he had a poem about hair and not forgetting the women who braid, who twist, the women behind the chair. And I was like, you know what? These women, especially in the Black community, are like goddesses. Like, we go to them, we have all these essential moments where we have to go. Like, I've had my beauticians, I have about 4 beauticians over the course of my life, so we stay with them whatever stage you're in. Now I'm with my locks. I've been with my loctician for the last 10 years, but they see us grow, they become close friends, they become therapists. So I really want to celebrate them. But I also wanted to celebrate hair in the Black community in general and the diversity. And there's so many different things converging around that topic. I wanted to put my own, lens and perspective to that. So these are, our hair story is my basically perspective on Black hair. So at the top, you see a snapshot of the ones I've worked on so far. Some of them are completely done. Some of them need a little bit more work, but it's kind of just an intimate look, into that story, into that Black hair story. And each hair story is different. It's not a monolith. Our hair is different. Each of us has different processes and different routines, but that routine is sacred for most of us. So I wanted to kind of capture that, and that's the goal, the hair story.
It's so important for it to be affirmed. It's important I'll stick to my community. It's important in our community. Hair is an expression. It is like an art form for us. And it has been for such a long time, whichever way that you wear it, I remember, as far back as I can remember, like, hair being a big thing, I have a painting like about going to get going to get your hair pressed and getting those ears burnt up, but like it was a big deal. I think it's cool that you're affirming women and men of color, about their hair, because so often it doesn't really go that way, like in corporate America, even amongst some of our own people, sometimes it is looked at in a negative light.
Yeah. No, I very distinctly remember, and hey, Cameron, hey, Black Asian artists, thank y'all for joining. I very distinctly remember when I was an intern or trying to do an internship in college, and it was a Black specific internship. They had very corporate clients, and they specifically said no braids, no twists, no locks, like all of that. And they said it across the board. Like, it wasn't any ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, they were like, this is the requirement. And I sat there, I didn't have locks at the time. I was like, I can't, like, even just the idea of somebody being that controlling over your body for work, like, just that concept, like the Crown Act, which, right now I think 7 states have signed, thank goodness, that protects natural hair against discrimination. It's real. It's definitely real. Thankfully, my industry outside of art, I haven't had to deal with that in insurance, but it's real. And I think, it's important to capture that beauty and that majesty and that diversity and showcase it. So that's the goal.
I have a specific, the time frame in which I went natural was 2006. So it wasn't like, we didn't have like a lot of, ways to kind of learn about yourself back then. Mm-hmm. What we had was this site. It was really a photography site, but it kind of turned into like a family for girls going natural. It was called Faki. And
what was it called?
Faki. And it was such a big deal. And I learned so much, just like a whole bunch of And I don't want to, you know, not include the brothers because they were on there too. And they was like, hey, I use this product or do this, try this. And we would take pictures and send it to each other and comment and love on each other. We were like affirming ourselves within that community because we knew on the outside, you know, you didn't get it as much. So
that's so important. I remember. Oh, go ahead. No, you're fine.
I wasn't saying shit, girl. No. You remember what?
I was gonna say, I remember when I went natural. I went natural in college, and I could not wait to do it. I had left Dallas. I went to Boston because, you know, the thought of becoming natural was like this. It was like a fantasy for me, but it was also very scary because you didn't want that person to be like, "Baby, what's going on? what you going through a phase? What's happening?" So I wanted to do it in a space where nobody really knew me. And the very first day on campus, it rained, and I had a little press, so I was so excited. I was like, "Yeah, I get to start my natural hair process." And I thought it was going to come naturally. I thought it was going to be easy, and I struggled because you don't know what to do with it. I've never had to deal with my natural texture, and I had no idea. So now, thankfully, I think there are more resources for people that are going natural or currently natural. Thankfully, I had a homegirl on campus that knew how to twist, and she was like, "Come here." And I can't even remember how the conversation went and how I ended up, but she was like, "Come here. You want some braids?" And I was like, "Yes." So she twisted it, and from there I kind of figured it out. But yes, it was interesting. So that process in and of itself is not seamless. It's a learning curve for sure.
So is it your hair series? Is it ongoing? I know you said that you have more paintings to accomplish, and I also know that you have an Instagram page dedicated just for that. So let's make sure, what is that called exactly so we can get that on record?
Yes. So the Hair Story series is at Hair Story Art Series, and I'll put it in the comments. I also will tag it on my page. But yeah, that page is specifically for the event, for the exhibit, kind of material geared towards hair, gearing up for that event. So the exhibit currently is postponed due to COVID. The goal hopefully is to do it this fall, and I'll keep you guys posted on that.
It's gonna happen.
Thank you. Fingers crossed. Yes. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it's going to happen. It's been an interesting journey, like from the conception to presenting it. Like I presented it for a couple of grants, and I've gotten grants before. I've gotten one grant before, and that one was, I'm not gonna say it was easy, but it made me feel like, oh, grants are not hard. And I went in for this one. I have beginner's luck, I guess, or was just fortunate, blessed. But this time around, it's been a struggle, like getting funding and to support it. And I have a really big vision. So this cumulative experience I want with the exhibit. So that takes money, right? And I want to make sure I do it properly. So I'm still applying for grants, hopefully get one for this fall. In the auction that we'll be talking about later, my proceeds will be going towards the Hair Story Art Series to help me bring that to life and bring that exhibit to life. So if y'all are, we'll pub it later, but next Friday, this time, 8 o'clock, we'll be doing a live auction. And, for anybody who supports my pieces, that's where half of the proceeds will go.
Yeah. And I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because we want that project to be as successful as possible. Of course, for you, because you're an amazing artist, but I think we need things like that. Reaffirming, our culture and how we do things and how important it is to us, and exposing other people that are not inside our culture to the beauty of our culture and why we think things are important. It's something cool to learn. And I was at your last big event, so you definitely know how to do it. I mean,
yes.
You turned up.
I know how to throw an event, okay? No.
Turned up, y'all. She had the lights like it was illuminating below coming up. I was like, what is all it? This is amazing. So it was really cool. It wasn't just visual, it was auditory, all the senses you know, being seduced. So I liked it. I was a fan.
That's the goal, yes. So that's the goal for this time, to make it bigger and better and, you know, do it right. So that's why I'm waiting.
Yeah, so I thought that was bigger and better. So if you're talking about being bigger and better than that, like, I was okay. I'm gonna be there for it. So everybody, make sure you write down their Instagram page and you stay locked in. She's gonna be posting ongoing information. Are you documenting with other people or talking to other people? What are your plans? The ones that you can tell.
Well, I want to include. You mean about the exhibit itself?
Yeah.
Or okay. Yeah, my goal.
What you want to tell me? You don't have to tell me all your business. But.
So for the exhibit itself, there are a lot of artists locally outside of Rage that also have been doing great work around here. Like I said, it's a lot of us converging. We talked about this, like God doesn't download into one person or one artist. So all of us, you know, have some kind of streamlined ideas. And I brought in a few of those artists that I want to, you know, bring in with me for this exhibit that I think will add to it and have their own lens. So in addition to my pieces, you'll be able to see ideally some of theirs and, you know, capture their lens. So I'm working with fellow artists locally to do this project as well, which is exciting. Like, I don't want it to be just me and my work, but I do also want to support the local art community. I'm very big on community as well. So ideally we'll have some type of community component. Now with COVID, you know, what that looks like, if it's virtual, you know, I don't know. I haven't figured out that component yet. But I do know I have to pivot somewhat from the original idea. But it makes it a little bit more exciting, I think, just to have to say, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. This is the concept. How can we best deliver it? So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, it's going to be lit. So for those of you that are not privy, just like Aaliyah, Shonda, like, we have to try to catch her to get her own house party. That's kind of hard. But she will get on the Zoom with you while she paints. She always doing something, which is comical to me. So she'd be like, yeah, like fully engaged in the conversation. Painting at the same time, which I love. But part of what she was talking about, we were having a conversation because I have a piece about, you know, my ears being burnt up. You know, when I used every Easter by this lady in the neighborhood, she was an important person in the neighborhood, and we got on a conversation about how God doesn't just download into one person. You know, he kind of uses a couple of artists as a muse, and then he sees what we're going to do with it. I always use the analogy. The documentary with Michael Jackson, This Is It. There's a piece in there where he's talking, he's getting ready to leave, right? They just got through rehearsing. Well, they're about halfway through the rehearsal, and Michael Jackson, he's getting ready to leave, right? And he's walking off, and the manager's like, why you leave? Why you always why you make all this extra stuff you gotta do, man? We need to concentrate, you know, on the concert. He's talking to him, and he's like, why did you pick right now to record? Why is it so important right now? We've got the concert. Michael turns around. He turns around, girl. You know, Michael had that high-ass voice. He looks at him. He's like, look, I gotta go. And he's like, but why? And I'll ask you a question. Why? He's like, because if I don't record it, if I don't do it, gotta give it to Prince.
No,
I was not, girl. Now,
I wasn't ready for that.
Yes, at the time when I first saw it, I'm very goofy, so I busted out. I was like, oh my God, that was so funny. But I started thinking about it, and it started looping in my head. And there have been several instances where I have created something, but I don't act on it, or I don't push it out. And months later, we'll see it. You know,
and somebody else. Yeah.
Yes. lockstepping, and I know this person don't know me, I don't know them. I'm like, what in the how? What this honest? Look at what happened. And I always think about what Michael said. Michael said, if I don't record the song, gotta give it to Prince. You see? So you have to be obedient to your muse, because your muse is a source talking to you. It's like, I want you to do something with this. Sometimes we don't fully know why something is coming through, but that's what it is.
No, I believe that. I believe
do
that. Hey,
too. After I got all that proof, I was like, okay, Lord, I'm sorry. I'm going to stop. I'm going to listen. My bad.
I have to, like, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and have an idea, or I'll have a concept or something to come to me. And I used to just be like, oh, that's cute, you know, but now I literally have to get up. I'll text it in my notes on my phone, or I'll write it down. So I think you're right. I think you have to act on it, because then you start seeing, like, when you do, you get blessed, or it'll, you know, stuff will start moving, and, you know, but just by being obedient. Like, you don't know where this is going, but just by doing that and being obedient, I think, you know, it's power in that, and just trusting that intuition and that instinct and that spirit inside of you, you know, that's important. That's huge.
I totally agree. So even though the COVID seems like it is horrible, so I don't mean to, in no way am I, you know, taking this as like people are getting sick and dying. But as far as this series, you know, it's caused you to take a pause, but also evolve it into something bigger. And I feel like that's going to come across. And plus, I want to see it in person. Like, I mean, you know, I like looking at stuff on my phone and on the computer, but art is just not, I miss the art show so much. I miss going. Like, that was my thing. Art is to be.
I was up there in there with you. You like, hey, this show's coming. We're like, yeah, let's go. So I get it.
I was like, I found my art sister. We're finna be up in this thing. We're gonna be going to these art shows. Like, I had big plans for 2020. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey, Shannon. Yeah, I don't think any of us could have predicted this for sure. Like, I didn't even, what's crazy, I do a vision board every single year. I've done it for the last 5 years. I did not do one for 2020. And that was bizarre. Like, I just couldn't, and I don't know why. I guess, I mean, now I know why.
Yeah, you know why.
But, like, I never sat down and did it. And it was different. I do it every year. And every year, God has honored it and blessed it. But this is the first year I just never sat down. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't sit down and do one, but I think it's been interesting. Like, even the concept of the plates, like, that's not what I had thought of when I was thinking about that series. And they were just here. They were available. At the time, we couldn't get our hands on canvases readily. So I'm like, okay, I have these. This is different. I don't know how this is going to work. If it'll work, let's try it. And it created something that's really unique. So I'm grateful for that, you know, and just having to pivot and be adaptive in this season. Like, it's not a good season by any means, but it's having us to rethink priorities, rethink what it means to be creative. You know, even us being on here, like, honestly, I probably would not have agreed to do the IG Live with you if the world were open, you know, and if it were normal. But
I don't know that I would have. I mean, this is something that I've always enjoyed. You know, the artist, you know, I don't want to stereotype, but I'm going to stereotype, is to kind of be like on an island. And I'm not that type of artist. I thrive off of collaboration and talking to other artists, because it's such a specific journey. So I think I would have been doing it, but maybe not, you know, like as a show, maybe not as episodes. So I'm thankful for that part. I just started it because I was bored and I wanted to talk to my art friends.
It is beautiful. Thank you for this platform. Like, God downloaded that to you. You were obedient, and look, you know.
Yeah, for a change.
I'm excited to see where it goes, you know.
For a change. He was like, thank you for finally listening, because you will never listen.
Right? No, I'm the same way. I'm very stubborn. Like, I was going to push through and do that show. It would have been tomorrow. It would have started tomorrow. And I don't know, for y'all that's not in Texas, you know, we're at about 1,000 COVID cases a day.
Texas
in
acting,
Dallas,
Texas acting the whole damn fools because we don't know how to stay home. I'm like Tony Baker. Get your ass in the house.
Just stay. Just, you know, go sit. But yeah, I don't have a problem. I've been, thankfully, been able to work from home, and I've been able to be creative in this season. I mean, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, we talked about this. Sometimes I don't feel like creating, and when I don't feel like creating, I haven't forced it. Like, I've had a commission, and I've had to apologize to my client, but she's like, cool, you know, artist art, can't rush it, but she's been very cool. But normally I would have been very, you know, business. I'm normally, you know, I went to school for business, so I bring that to the art side, but I couldn't, like, it was days I couldn't do anything. I couldn't focus. I couldn't, you know, create. I couldn't do it. And I just would, you know, be like, I'm sorry, you know, we're going a little bit longer. So thankfully, you know, I have clients that are cool, that are, you know, understanding of this time, and, you know, it's affected us as well, but I think we just process it a little differently.
So speaking of commissions, since you brought it up, tell me about your commission life. I know that you do take commissions. What are you working on currently, commission wise? I know you probably can't show it. I saw you look like, oh Lord. But what do your commissions range from? What kind of things are you asked to paint or portray?
Yeah, so it ranges from somebody saying, hey, this is my godson. Can you do a painting of him for graduation? That was the last one I did. And I can't show that one because it's a gift. But I'll be delivering that tomorrow. Somebody wants me to do a Catwoman. So I've done Eartha Kitt. Like, people will see what I've painted in the past sometimes, and they'll say, oh, I like this. Do you still have this available? And I'm like, oh, that's sold. And, you know, it's kind of one of one. But now I'm doing like a Halle Berry Catwoman that I'll be starting next week. Yeah. So it just ranges. It'll be people doing, you know, wedding photos, want to capture special moments. I had one that was really special that took a lot longer than normal because of the specificity, but the client had this really, really in-depth vision. Yeah, so it ranges. It'll be, you know, somebody wants somebody, you know, special to them captured on canvas, or I like to do a lot of superheroes, or I do famous people. Like, will eventually be Nina. I'm working on her to get her together.
Already so juicy.
So yeah, it ranges, and the price points, I'm pretty affordable. Like, we've talked about price points too. I have gone up to the $1 per square inch. Oh, thank you.
I'm so proud of you, Shonda.
Yeah. So it ranges from like $100 all the way up to about $800 to $1,000, depending on the size and the amount of detail. So pretty, you know, still pretty affordable. I do normally half up front, the rest on delivery. I deliver, you know, I've had pieces to New York, to Boston, to all over. So I've been very, very fortunate, especially in this season. Like, I just got a request for another commission today. And I'm like, oh, I'm booked through, you know, the fall. So that's for October. So that's already lined up. So that's a blessing, you know, just to have people like your work, like your style, and say, hey, I want you to translate this piece or this picture in your style. That's unique and very beautiful. You know why
you've been busier than normal. You know why, don't you?
Why?
Other than the fact that you're an amazing artist, people are sitting at the house looking at their bunk ass walls, trying to figure out why haven't I put something up, or why did I get this ugly ass paint from TJ Maxx? It wasn't cute when I bought it, and now I realize it really wasn't cute, and I need some original art. And then they start scrolling through Instagram, and they come on your page, and they're like, "Oh my God!" So,
thank you.
That's the positive from the Rona.
Yeah, yeah. It's been interesting. Oh, thanks. Shannon says facts.
See, Shan said facts. Yeah, I tell the truth. I'm just saying.
Have you been busier? You've been busier too, right? Like, but you know what? It is so bizarre. Like, I would not have pictured that art would be like one of the things that would have a demand, you know, that goes up at this time. But you're right. You're right.
Yeah, because it sets a tone in your house and atmosphere. It's a lot. You know, a lot of people, they don't really think about. It's kind of like a passing thing. They don't really understand how important it is. Not only to be the consciousness of the people, but also, beauty. Hello.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen
art
it
is
work?
life.
Yeah, art is exactly. Art is life.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've been trying to look at you. I really have been focusing. I'm like, Jamelia, look at Shonda. But what I really want to have happen was for you to move. so I can see where
Let me roll back.
Thank you, ma'am. Get out of the way. Gosh.
Let me see if I can pivot a little bit. So yeah, I have a couple pieces.
Yeah, come on, let's get into it. Let's talk about that.
Thank you. So yeah, I did a couple pieces. These are all from COVID, like literally all three of these. Let's see. Can you see that one okay? Do I need to move it?
Yes, let me see. Yes, the Black TV Mamas.
Thank you. Lift it up just a little bit. My sister is helping me, y'all. So yeah, this one is a piece about food deserts, and I had always wanted to do the Black Mamas, some of my favorite ones. And basically, I just took that concept and incorporated all these food mascots around them, just to kind of represent, you know, in certain communities, basically how. Let me see. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you have like the Burger King man. You got
Jack in the Box.
Ronald over there, the Colonel. Yeah. And then Wendy's is in the corner. I do want to work on these a little bit more because it's the one I like doing color, like people like faces and stuff, and it was harder to do because these are fictional characters for the most part. So like Wendy, I want to work on her some more. But yeah, I had the moms kind of looking like disgusted, their plates are empty, and these are their options. So that piece is specifically about food deserts. This one is my current baby. This is what I'm working on. Let's see if I can turn it. Girl, I'm not gonna do that.
Working on it. Oh my gosh. I'm fangirling over this one. Like every time I see it, I'm just like, oh.
Thank you. Okay, that's good. Perfect. Yeah, so I have a series on on cards, and basically Nina was going to be the final for that. Slide it over just a little bit. And instead of putting the cards on Nina, I put them on the four ladies. So each of these four women represent, from her song, the four women, and basically a different woman from a perspective from the Black woman's lens. And each card, I was kind of really intentional with the cards I selected. Like each of them has the queen, but it's a queen from a different suite. This is my first time using that heavy gloss medium on there, and it works really well. I'm excited about that. And then the whole idea or concept is we're all mad here. So it's a play on the Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatter's Party meets Nina Simone's Four Women. And yeah, so I'm excited about this. I don't normally paint really large. Painting large is scary for me.
Girl, nobody can tell. Okay, nobody can tell.
Thank you. But yeah, and then I have the Urkel down here. So this is a collaboration piece I'm working on with my art partner in Boston, Jamal. He did these cool colors and shapes, and basically I just kind of tried to weave it into the painting, but painted the Urkel over that slightly. So trying to mesh it in together. But yeah. Yes, Peaches.
Yes, you have been
Peaches
a
is my
busy little
favorite,
bee.
so I gotta get Peaches right. This is her right here, but I gotta make sure her energy matches the energy. Yeah. So yeah, if y'all haven't heard that song, it's one of my favorite Nina Simone songs. Yes.
Yes, my skin is yes, girl. Don't
Yeah.
start with me.
Thank you. Yeah, I know you know Nina, but yeah. So that's what I'm working on.
I love it. It's so amazing. All the intricacy that you have in your work. I'm always amazed by how fast you work,
Thank
considering
you.
all the layers and stuff that you do and all the colors. Thank God for Sweet Sisters. Everybody give it up for Shonda's sister.
She gonna come around real quick and show her face.
Yes, that's some love. She's like, girl,
She got her head. She has her hair wrap on too today.
Yes.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
She giving me life. She's saving me tonight, y'all. Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah,
Sissy.
she's like, hold on, let me get you together.
Let me get you together. Yo,
I love it.
I appreciate it. Okay, I think technology, right? I'm learning.
Yes. I enjoyed looking at that piece, so both of them, but that's my that's my piece right there. I love it. The color palette, like what goes on in your mind? So do you like pick your colors beforehand, or you just start painting on that thing and be like, yeah, I think this gonna look good? Like, is it an organic process, or is it methodical? Is it thought out? Like, what do you do?
For this one, it was a little bit different. So I have been told to paint the background first forever, and I had resisted that. I was like, I don't want to paint the background. I want to paint the foreground and do the background around it, which is double work. It's silly. Yes. Yeah, that's her handle.
It's just a different way.
It's different, but this one I did do it on, and I just painted the background. I threw some red on here. I threw the blue, and I had no idea how I was gonna pull in the other ones and how all the women have like the hues of blue going, because I literally had some blue left over after I finished the painting, and I didn't want to throw the paint away and let it dry. So I'm like, okay, I had some leftover paint, and I just started, which I was scared to start this one. I had been thinking about the idea for over a year and wanted to do it, and I was like, okay, this is the time. You're in COVID, like, you know, we creative right now, so go for it. But yeah, that's how they all have their shades of blue. Like literally, they were all blue at first, and then I came back in and tried to, you know, add more dimension and more color to them. But it just flows. It depends on the piece. I love color, you know, and I'm not scared to use it. That's one of the things that I'm not.
Not only are you not scared to use it, you are masterful with it. I mean, just because you love color don't always mean it's gonna come together well. You know what I mean? There have been several times I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use. Okay, that came out horrible. Like, oh my God. That's why I stick to acrylic. I'm like, thank God for acrylic.
Yes, I'm acrylic all day. Hopefully I will try something new. I have tinkered with watercolor, and I have much respect for watercolor artists because that is scientific. That is more science than art, but it's beautiful when it's done well. And yeah. Oh, thank you.
Watercolor will bow you down. She said it adds another dimension from Nina.
I appreciate it. Appreciate the feedback.
I agree.
But yeah, so acrylic all day.
Word up. Okay, well, I think it's been a pretty good. Our first interview was amazing, so I knew this interview was going to be amazing.
Thank you.
It feels like we just got on here, but we've been on here for a while. As always, I enjoy talking to you. So I want to end it myself before Instagram ended. They so rude.
Okay.
So rude. It's so nasty.
It's rude. Okay, this has been fun. Thank y'all so much for coming.
We can see with your lights and all that stuff. Maybe I can get you to get on House Party tonight so I can talk to you. Look.
Yeah, this interview, you know, I'm a Sag. My energy goes like this, and then it's like, oh,
it's over.
It's on. It's gone. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful for everybody.
I like
Thank you.
I like your honesty.
This has been fun.
Well, I'm glad you have fun. I did too. I always do.
Good.
All right, girl. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. That's always fun. Shonda's always fun to talk to. I hope you guys have fun as well. Okay.